candidate, his opponent for now is Ruto must go, and the plan for the opposition is one term.
You were the one who gave Ruto the votes to win back then, right? You're the one who gave him Mount Kenya. So why should we, as the young adults getting into 2027, trust you to lead us again to another election?
Why should you trust me? It's true, I made an error judgment. In my community, they say, making a mistake is not bad. What is unacceptable is repeating the same mistake. Why William Ruto anapiga kelele akituita wa kabila? He is bitter that the mountain that made him president has left him. There's nothing we can do. Mimba ya kujidunga, the people of that region voted him to a man. He was rejected by all other regions except Rift Valley and the mountain. Coast rejected him. Northeastern rejected him. Nyanza rejected him. Western rejected him. The mountain and Rift Valley supported him. He betrayed the mountain. He mistreated them. They have left. Instead of thinking of how he can talk to them, he is abusing them and calling them tribal. It's a case of sour grapes. Unajua kakabweha alipoona matunda iko mbali, akijaribu kurukia na afiki anasema hata haijai. That is the situation. And let me finally, so that I allow questions. Although Raila Odinga and his members are abusing me and abusing the mountain people for no reason, just because they are with Ruto. Raila Odinga is an old man. And you know, like I have seen here in America, you take care of your senior citizens. And we must always take care of the elderly. Madam Prime Minister, wewe ile kitu hiyo Kasongo ataonesha wewe, uliza mimi. Guy is pretending to be nice to you, but utakuja kuniambia. If he called me and the whole mountain, na sisi vile tumesoma na vile tunajifikiria tumejanuka, this, when he brought Raila, nikamuuliza huyu mzee umemleta, anasema bwana, we are just managing this mzee, tumtafutia kitu kidogo ya kukula anyamaze. Alafu tumwambie kuna hii kitu ya report ya dialogue atoe, lakini it will go nowhere. I want to tell you, Raila Odinga, William Ruto told me that medical report will go nowhere. He's just calling you. And he has told Ichung'wa and company in parliament to delay it until the next election. So you are there waiting for Ruto to implement an medical report. There is nothing, he will not do it. Again, he told me, and I have seen it has come to pass, that he'll be close to you and he'll divide ODM right in the middle. Today, as we speak, ODM fellows are abusing each other. The Luo MP leaders of ODM are abusing the Luya ones, and the Luya ones are abusing the Luo ones. Just what William Ruto told me, that I'll go near this ODM, it's a strong party, I will divide it right in the middle. So wewe mzee Raila, although watu yako wananitukana, wacha nikuchanue kidogo. Wewe Ruto atamaliza chama yako ya ODM, NADCO will never see the right on the day. Amefanya jinsi wa kuchukie, Waluya wamekuacha, Wakamba wamekuacha, Wakisii wamekuacha, amekuachia Wajaluo nusu. By the time William Ruto is through with you, you will be nobody in Kenyan politics. Perfect. Wewe uchanuka mapema kama mimi. Sindio? Mimi niliona, you know, he was trying to divide my base ya Mlima into east and west, nikakataa. He wanted to divide the counties, Murang'a atafute kiongozi, Kiambu kiongozi, so that he renders me and our people irrelevant. I refused. And I want to tell Raila Odinga, he'll destroy ODM completely. And you have seen it is happening.
It's true.
He'll undermine you in all areas you used to be popular. And by the time he is through with you, you'll be a pale shadow of your former self. Ordinarily, I will not give you that advice because your people are not very nice to me. But because I'm a Christian and I'm an honest man, I think it's only fair to be nice to an old man. And tell him what I know and what I see happening. So mimi nimeshukuru. Tutashikana pamoja kwa one time? Yeah? Tuko hapo kwa one time? So I am very happy for listening to me, and I speak from the bottom of my heart. I love my country and I mean well. And I am determined. I have a very great resolve to join the rest of Kenyans to liberate our country and to bring meaningful change. And I am indeed very encouraged by the enthusiasm I have seen here in the States. I will leave here a better leader, knowing that I'm not alone. And go and tell the people of Kenya that your brothers and sisters and cousins in the United States are together with you. So you are brave people. Please continue praying for our country. Please continue remembering us in prayer. Please continue talking to people back home. Kenya is your country, and you have a responsibility to help us make it a better place to live in. And finally, you guys, when you work here, you must go home and retire. And you want to find a beautiful place, a peaceful place, a place where things are working, where health systems are working, where roads are passable, where there is water and electricity. So let us build this country together. Asanteni sana, thank you very much. Tuko na maswali? Wananiuliza kama waniletee kiti, mimi siwezi kaa. I'm a strong guy. You have some questions?
Yes, we do have questions. We make it very brief and let it be a question. Not, so that we can.
And on issues that I have not tackled, isn't it?
Yes.
I think the ones I've tackled, they are self-explanatory unless you need further clarification. But here, will you, madam, have one aspects? Okay.
Okay, my name is Milton Nyakundi. I'm a journalist by profession, and I have probably two quick questions. But just before I say that, I think I have a call to the diaspora. We have a challenge with how we shape the flow of money into our politics. And we have a duty to talk to our people back home that when Rigathi and others are going to seek for positions, look at them and tell our people that there is no individual who loves their country so much that they want to come and spend 20 billion to be your leader. It doesn't happen. Wale muna employ house helps, you know. There is no way a house help is coming to tell you that today I have so much money I want to give you so that you give me the job. It does not make sense. We have a responsibility for that. Number two, like His Excellency has said, those of you who have lived experiences where you have seen systems work, we would encourage you, and I speak both as a journalist and as a Kenyan, we have a duty to encourage many of us as possible to go and seek elective positions so that we can demonstrate to our people that politics can be played in a different way. I challenge all of us to do that. And lastly, so that I ask my question. In 2022, I'm a journalist, like I said, so that's my disclaimer, and indulge me on that. in 2022, only less than 3,000 Kenyans in the diaspora voted. We have to encourage ourselves. And remember, Kenya Kwanza won by a mere 233,000 votes. That tells you that had diaspora in the US turned up to vote, we would have had diaspora swing the vote and give Kenyans a better candidate. We have an opportunity in the next elections. Let me ask my question. Honorable Rigathi, in your speech, you've spoken about a formula, and if it doesn't favor you. Now, it means that within your ranks, you have an idea of a formula. What is that formula? And what is the place of the Kenyan people in defining that formula and making that decision? In other words, how are you going to involve the Kenyan people in making that decision on who becomes the flag bearer? My second and last question. You have quite some influence with members of parliament and other national assemblies, the Senate and the county assemblies. Some of the proposals you're talking about in terms of, for example, increasing polling stations in diaspora, a greater participation of the diaspora people requires some level of legislative input before the next elections. And knowing William Ruto, he will block every attempt to legislate and make policy changes that would make it impossible for him to hold on to power. How do you intend to navigate that space, considering that you know William Ruto more than all of us in this room? I would have more, and I know we'll have an opportunity to engage with you. I leave it at that for now. Thank you.
Now, guys, because of time, and there's so many who have questions, can we make our questions very brief so that also His Excellency can have time to answer?
Okay, first I will start by introducing myself. My name is Evangeline Kirigwa. I founded the Diaspora Initiative for Civic Engagement a few years back. And for anyone needing information on how to engage, you can reach out to me. So my few questions, the first thing, Honorable Your Excellency Rigathi, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for being so engaged, so vivacious. We're following things with a lot of interest, and I'm glad to meet you today. So I have a few things to bring up. The first thing is when we fly to Kenya, when we land in Jomo Kenyatta, we are checked in, it's still a shed. It was meant to be temporary housing a few years back. It's almost 10 years, we are still being housed in migrations within a tent. It's a shame. My other issue is that I was brought up on coffee money. My school fees was paid on coffee money. Now, because our darling Kasongo has seen to it that coffee is killed to punish the people of the mountain, and my family is a victim of that, how are you going to revive this very important industry?
When leaders bribe people to vote for them, what they'll do when they get into office is first recover their money, isn't it? That is why we are telling the people of Kenya that the Ruto administration is the greatest conveyor and purveyor of corruption. And once you agree to be part of that corruption, then you cannot complain on the adverse effects of the same. That's why we are saying, I agree with you. Help the leaders that you desire to ascend to the office by assisting them in logistics and simple things. Because if they go and get funded by cartels, they will demand for payback when they get back to office. There's a lot of bribery going on in Kenya today. Ruto believes in corruption, and he believes money can buy everything, including leadership. And we must prove him wrong in this coming election. succeeded in lobbying the people of Kenya to take money and say one time. It has never happened. No, basically, our people are Christians. When they take your money, they feel obliged to vote for you. But when William Ruto was coming to the mountain, he withdrew $1 billion in cash. So when I learned about it, I was very worried, because $1 billion can confuse people. So I talked to the people, no, this guy is coming with cash. This is your money. And take it, but don't take it home because it has Gen Z blood. Don't use it to take your child to school. Don't use it to buy a cow. Mkule tu hapo sokoni. Na kama uko na deni ulipe naye. Na ukimalizana naye umwambie ni wandamu. Na tukaweka bei. We set a price for William Ruto to address any meeting. Attendance is 2,000. Clapping 1,000. Laughing 500. And he gave money. Akiingia kwa ndege watu wanasema wandamu. I've seen now it's happening even in Masai land. I was very happy the other day. Soprano was there. Amepatia kila mtu 3,000. Akiingia kwa ndege wa Masai wanachukua ile fimbo yao wanasema wandamu. That is what we want now. Because you cannot tell people not to take money. People have money. But we want to educate our people, and you help me also telling them, don't take money from William Ruto and elect him and get yourself back to slavery. Because he'll give you 200 shillings, then he'll bring taxation and tax you 100,000. So you must help us in educating our people. Again, it is true, only 3,000, slightly over 3,000 people voted here. We have challenges because I think you only have 2 polling stations. We will be lobbying the IBC. It has been constituted to see whether we can increase the polling stations. It's not easy because of the financial constraints, but we'll continue to do so to see whether we can have, polling stations that are nearer where the people are. Formula to pick a candidate. Hatuwezi sema Kasongo anatupangia. Si ndio? Si atatupangia? Kabisa. Na hatuwezi toa candidate saa hii, atatuhangaisha. Huko mwisho. And I want to assure you, the formula will come up with the best candidate for the people. And if it does not favor me, I have publicly said I'll support whoever it favors. And I'll be asking my colleagues also to make that public statement, isn't it? Let everybody commit to the people of Kenya. Like, it cannot just be you. If it's not you, you must commit. So your formula wacha tuketi nayo for now. Don't worry. The laws that are in place are sufficient to get us a good election. Hakuna mtu ataiba uchaguzi bana. The margin will be so huge. Even when the Supreme Court Kasongo hataenda. And again, let me also tell you, when we change the election laws, that the votes are counted at the polling station, it became very difficult to interfere with the results. And you know the minor KI ruling of 2013, the Supreme Court ruled that polling station results are final. What happens at Bomas is just mathematical, just addition. And with the Gen Zs, Gen Zimpo, these are the people to assist us. They'll be there in every polling station. Wanapiga picha na kutuma na kufanya hesabu haraka haraka. Hii watoto within 1 hour they'll tell us who is the president. This is a revolution. This is Gen Z. It's a good thing for the country, I want to tell you. And we want to work with the Gen Zs because they are a good resource for our country. They assist us to make sure there is no monkey business. Evangelist Kirigwa is true. JKIA is a ship. We go through many international airports. It's been very difficult to get anything done at JKIA because of corruption. The other day they tried to bring somebody called Adani. Alikuwa anataka kuuziwa airport yetu tukakataa. So muvumilie tu kidogo. Mwaka mbili upitie hapo kwa hiyo shade. We'll fix it properly. We'll fix the generators, we'll fix the toilets, we'll fix everything that needs to be fixed without selling our airport to foreigners. Coffee is true. You know, when I was in office, I was in charge of coffee reforms. And I'm a very proud leader. By the time I came to office, 1 kg of coffee was between 60 to 90 shillings. I initiated the coffee reforms after the coffee conference of 2023 I did in Meru. I went to Colombia, I went to Brussels, I went to Germany. I brought all the stakeholders together. We initiated a lot of reforms. And as we speak today, a kilo of coffee, farmers have been paid between 130 to 190, and it will get better. And we will not allow Kasongo to mess it up. He is trying to mess it up so that the people of that particular area can suffer. Just the way he interfered with our success in the fight against alcoholism and drug abuse. You know, I successfully, with my wife, initiated a program to remove illicit alcohol from the market, and we did. And our young people became sober, they started families, they became clean, and things were going right. Until Kasongo realized that the young men of the Mount Kenya region are back. And because he wanted to destroy that community, he ordered for the booze to be brought back and suspended the whole thing that I was doing. And he did it when I was still in office, but I was fighting back. But when I left, the whole program collapsed. Illicit alcohol is back. Our young people are sleeping in trenches. They are not having children. They are dirty. And a whole generation is being destroyed. And because there's a God in heaven, God cannot allow those boys will be saved. But for us to deal with the illicit alcohol and drug abuse, Ruto must be one time. Can you imagine? The Kenyan cabinet is the only cabinet in the world where drug barons sit in the cabinet. I was fighting drug abuse, and I would not have allowed him to appoint drug barons into the cabinet. He edged me out because he wanted to bring drug barons, 2 drug barons. Even they cannot come to the United States. You know them, 2 of them. They sit in the cabinet, Kenyan cabinet, drug barons. This William Ruto has lost morality and ethics. A country that is suffering from drug abuse, and then you bring people who are documented and who are known to be the barons of drugs in Kenya, at the coast and in central Kenya, and they sit in cabinet. That is how rotten the government is. Our children are not safe. You know what you are undergoing here in matters of drug abuse. You know how painful it is to parents. You know how injurious it is to any society where there is drug abuse. And then you get people who are drug barons and they sit right in your cabinet. And then you tell us you have a government that can bring change to the people of Kenya. The documents, you say you have some proposals. My people are here. We'll organize with you how I get them. And we'll be able to study them and do what we can now. But eventually, when we form government, we may not be able to do much now. There's 1 or 2 people we can talk to. But if it's something that works well, we'll integrate it in our manifesto so that it becomes part of our working document. Choti Junior is true. Haiti. I disagreed from the word go. how do you say policemen to go and deal with criminal gangs when there are criminal gangs in Kenya you are not dealing with?
That's true.
And I think it was a scheme to send them to Haiti for benchmarking on how to introduce gangs in Kenya.
That's the point. That's
I
true.
think you saw when Ruto was in Nairobi for 6 days, he was moving around with the gangs. They were robbing people when his security is looking. They were getting into cars and stealing earrings from women. They were even being very mannerless and touching our women on the breasts and the thighs. And they were with the president. Gangs for 6 days. You have seen what they are doing anytime Gen Zs are on the streets. The government hires gangs, supervises them to come and cause mayhem. What happened on Sabasaba Day? There were criminal gangs hired by government, supervised by police to burn and touch property. So I think the Haiti thing, they had gone there to learn on how to bring criminal gangs into Kenya. So that is something that is very sad. Our boys and girls are dying there. It's unnecessary. When there is insecurity in Kenya, we don't have policemen to send everywhere when we have challenges back at home. Finally, the issue of developers is true. I know you people have undergone many challenges when you are trying to build homes and you send money to people. They con you. Sometimes you want to buy a plot, you find you bought air. Sidio. Sometimes even your own relatives have conned you. Unamtumia pesa akujengee nyumba anapiga ya jirani anakwambia ni yako. There are those challenges. It's something we'll work on how we agree to have a few farms that are certified by government with guarantees and insurances that when you send your money, they do what you have agreed. We'll work on it. That is something between ourselves and yourselves. We'll agree on how it works best so that we get people who can be able to help people who are away to develop their motherland. That is something we are going to do, and do some regulation and agree on how we regulate people who can develop on behalf of the people in the diaspora. People who can transact on land on behalf of the people who are far away is something that we can work on. Next two more questions. Yes, Gen Z Mkonyuma. When I grow up, I would like to have muscles like you.
So I have one question for you from DP. You've talked about 2027 being an important election for the whole of Kenya, just based on everything that's happening, the crisis and all. But then you've mentioned a lineup of people who, in one way or another, have failed the country. You've mentioned Kalonzo, Omalwa, Matakarua, and all the other people who are running. But in one way or another, each of them have had backroom deals in the past to more or less further their own agendas. So as the young adults who are thinking at 2027, we don't want a repeat and a recycling of the same tyrants who've been up and up again. What do you tell us? If you yourself would say, you were the one who gave Ruto the votes to win back then, right? You're the one who gave him out Kenya. So why should we, as the young adults getting into 2027, trust you to lead us again to another election? When you say, what's the word for it? The lineup of 2027 will not be announced until the end, so it's not affected by Ruto. Why should we then, close to the election in 2027, trust your judgment when back then it's given us Ruto right now? So why should we trust you in 2027 when we are where we are right now?
That's a good question. The field is open. We are waiting for people to come up, including the young people. Unfortunately, the few who had come up initially were compromised by Kasongo. So you have seen them. Those young ones, one is with Raila, the other one is with Kasongo. So as we go on, the people of Kenya will choose among those who come up. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with the new blood. But the new blood must offer themselves for leadership. You know, the young people are saying, we want young blood. I'm asking the young people, let them come up and sell themselves to the people of Kenya. Number two, why should you trust me? It's true, I made an error judgment. In my community, they say, making a mistake is not bad. What is unacceptable is repeating the same mistake. I had the choice to stay with Ruto and oppress Kenyans, and I decided not to. I gave up a job, a good job, very lucrative, with privileges, to stand with the people of Kenya. If I was a selfish person, if I was like Ruto, I would have just agreed to what he wanted. We just hang together, we keep children, or with Raila, you give him some little money, he hangs around. And why the young people trust me? When they needed somebody to start with them, at their lowest, when they were being killed and called criminals and being butchered, I, as deputy president, stood with them and said, this is unacceptable. I cannot accept it, Mr. President. And I was the deputy president. And Ruto could not believe it, that I could tell him off when I'm in office. That's why the Gen Zs back home, they love me because I'm a very principled leader. And I am tested that when it mattered most, I made a decision that to some people looked very foolish and very dangerous, but to many people looked very courageous. It cost me a job, but I still think it was the right decision. Given another opportunity, I will still make the same decision. And the people of Kenya will make a decision whether they can trust me or not, and they will judge me depending on how I have acted before, where I needed to make a decision between standing with the truth and standing with comfort. So, tutaendelea. And why we are saying we have to wait is that we need one candidate to face this man. With his state resources and what he controls, if we name a candidate now, atamsumbua sana. Sana. So we have to be strategic because we are not just dealing with just any ordinary candidate. So it's just a question of strategy. As for now, our candidate is Ruto must go. Our plan is one term. Okay? It must remain that way for quite some bit of time. And he's very unhappy with it. He's very unhappy with him. Anataka tuseme ni Rigiji. Yaseme imutu ni mukabila. Nini, atufungulie makesi, what, atusumbue to make sure that we cannot even campaign. So acha akae namna hiyo. Candidate, his opponent for now is Ruto must go. And the plan for the opposition is one term.
So what I'm wondering is, if we Gen Zs don't understand the mountain narrative, how are you going to engage us and find a way to position yourself or position these politics beyond one term and beyond the defense of Mulima? And by the way, I'm not embarrassed to be Kikuyu. I'm from Kirinyaga and Nyeri. You know, you can't get Kikuyu than that. You know, I'm very Kikuyu, but we have, you know, that's just the truth. How are you going to convince us? Because, you know, I'm trying to explain to you the way we see it, right? There is that pride, yes, you know, of being a Kikuyu. You know, but there is also a people who don't see that. And we as Gen Zs are saying we are tribeless and we are fearless. And the politics being done now is the way it was done 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you know? And that is what is really scaring us, because if we divide ourselves, if you say you're coming to the defense of Mulima, then there's someone in I don't know, Rift Valley or Western, who will also say they are going to that defense. And then there will be another group, I don't know, in where? Coast, yeah, we are going to that defense. And then now, there will be a vacuum gap, and then Ruto will become president.
I feel you, and the agencies will help us deal with that nonsense. Because they are tribeless, and they are fearless, and they want change. And nobody can intimidate them or coerce them. But before the Gen Zs help us to have that change, those communities that are targeted by Ruto for extinction must be protected. Because if they are not, there will be nobody to vote. So I hear you, and I understand the way you think, but I also want to tell you at back home, the Gen Zs your age understand what's going on because they are just there, and they are feeling it. They can see that persecution, they can see the discrimination, they can hear the talk, and they can see the way they are being targeted. Because when you go to Kahawa Court of terrorism, and out of 100 people charged, 96 are from one area. In the cells, they talk among themselves and wonder what is happening. Yeah. So that is a situation that is there. And it behoves upon leaders. If a people are under siege, those people must be cushioned from destruction and from fear. Because if they become fearful, then the oppressor has succeeded. You see, people want to intimidate people into fear. The Gen Zs cannot be intimidated. But the rest of the population, they buy fear quite quickly. So we must keep on reassuring them, no. Nobody will target you. Nobody will wipe you out. Nobody will destroy your businesses so that they feel comfortable and they are able to soldier on. You must keep on giving people assurances, especially where fear is being sold. Most of members of parliament are one term, but they cannot dare say because of fear. They cannot even go to a meeting where one term is being discussed because of fear. So you just find a few of them who are courageous. And that's where the Gen Zs now have become a movement because they are fearless and they simply don't care. And it has even reached a place where I have to ask the Gen Zs, please, you have made your point. This guy has said you should be shot, and he's doing it. I'm requesting you, much as you are fearless, I need you to help me get the change. And for you to be useful, and for you to enjoy the change you desire, you need to be alive. And this guy is already killing you. So much as you are fearless, you cannot walk into death when you can see this is death, isn't it? So we have to blend that courage, that fearlessness also with reality. And as a parent, as an elder, I also have a responsibility also to guide my children. Where I feel they are in danger, where I can see they can lose their lives, I have a responsibility, much as they are fearless, much as we need them to help us get the change that we desire. It will be responsible on my part as a leader to allow them to walk into death when I can see. So we continue balancing these things. It's a very difficult, delicate act, but we are getting there. So don't worry, my dear, things will be okay. I'll connect with some people so that we can work around what you are doing, and you are doing a good thing. Please continue with that advocacy, and that is the way to go. And I want to assure you, young guy, don't ask me what I'll do for you if I'm elected president or in the government that will fall. I want you to come to be part of that government we do it together. I want the Gen Zs to sit on the decision-making table so that they are part of the solution of Kenya's problem. I am also aware sufficiently that these Gen Zs who are pushing Ruto to the corner and he's not sleeping. Once we are elected, if we don't measure up to their expectation, they will drive us out of town. Very furiously and with brutal efficiency. So the only way for us to be safe is to bring the Gen Zs on board so that if there is a backlash, we suffer together from their colleagues. Last one, so that we have to go. Okay.
Hi, cousin.
Hi, cousin.
So my question is direct, and it is about job creation.
Yes.
I want to talk about national job creation and arid and semi-arid area job creation, because I think if we create those jobs, we are going to stabilize that country. So my first question is at national level. What are your plans to create jobs in Kenya? And my second question is still about creating jobs, and I want to talk about an area that we feel like we are not in the planning table with the rest of. We haven't been there for a long time. That is arid and semi-arid areas. When you look at the statistics in Kenya, 80% of the country is arid and semi-arid. And when you look at these arid and semi-arid areas, we do have a lot of natural resources. We have 12 hours of sunshine. We have rivers that have water that goes all over to the ocean. And in conclusion, I would like to say that once we go over I don't know whether it's over the cliff, once we take over the government, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
No, not the other. Once we take over the government, what are your plans to create employments, and not just laborers, not farm laborers, to empower the people in the rural areas? Those are the people I'm talking about, in the rural areas, so that they can start their own agribusiness. What tools are you going to give them? What marketing efforts? What technology? So that they don't just go and work for that 450 shillings per day, to make them employers as well. And in conclusion, I would like to say, I like the way you say it. Us in the diaspora, we are the people who are coming with solutions. Here in the US, we need you to engage us, to give you solutions, particularly for arid and semi-arid areas. There are certain things we are currently doing there,
Yes.
and they are working.
Yes.
We have piloted, they are working, and people are getting employment. Like for the last maybe 5 years, we have created jobs in certain villages, like over 200 jobs that are sustainable. And
Yes.
we are creating food. We are farming grains, we are farming oranges, peaches, we are doing that. We are converting deserts into promised land. So we want your team to engage us here in the US,
Yes.
so that we can build the country. And we don't want the jobs. We are comfortable here in the US. We have enough here. We have enough pension. Like me, I'm an accountant. I'm a professional accountant here in the US. Okay? So it's not that we want any jobs. We don't want anything to do with corruption. We just want to help our country, and we are bleeding. Thank you.
Thank you, Kuzo. I agree. We need to engage you. That's what we are doing now. And this engagement is continuous. We have to create jobs, and we want to encourage people to come and put up factories for manufacturing in Kenya and cottage industries by making sure that we lessen bureaucracy and we make it easier for people to come and start industries in Kenya, to create employment and to enlarge our tax base. I agree with you, there is huge potential in the arid and semi-arid areas. We have been to Dubai, we have been to Israel, we have seen what technology can do. Those regions are very productive. Again, that is something we want to partner with the diaspora on how we can make that our land, 76% of arid and semi-arid is productive. Again, we want to change our diplomacy from the traditional diplomacy to commercial diplomacy so that we can look for markets for Kenyan agricultural produce. Because even if we assist our people to produce food, we create irrigation projects in the rural areas, we must look for a corresponding market for those products. Those are the things we are going to work together, and I want to commit that this engagement will be continuous. We want to borrow from you. You know a lot. We don't know everything, and there is beauty in consultation and getting ideas from other people. So we'll create a framework for this continuous engagement. I want to say thank you very much for listening to me.
My name is Daniel Ochweri. I think we've been together I had an opportunity to run for Senate of Nairobi in 2022 election, and had an opportunity to be shortlisted as a PS by the shareholding in Katam. So these are my electorate right here in the United States. They gave us the financing, we came down and we tried to represent them. You have articulated very well that you're going to be engaging the people from the diaspora. Truth to be told, when you come from the diaspora and go back home, it's a different ballgame altogether. So what guarantees are you going to give us as a former vice president and a presidential candidate? When we come from the diaspora, we are not going to be disadvantaged from the status quo back at home. That is a big thing, Mr. Your Excellency. You know, it's something that I was removed from the PS list in the morning. Maybe even you're aware about it. Yeah. So, how are you going to address the issue of shareholding, and what guarantees are you giving to the diaspora when it comes to issues like that?
My presence here in the US for 5 weeks or so is a very clear demonstration of my seriousness that I want to engage. I think 5 weeks is not a short time for a leader of my caliber and the kind of work that I have in Kenya. The fact that I've dedicated 5 weeks to come here and engage demonstrates that I have a serious intention to engage. We are in the process of creating consultative structures so that this engagement is continuous. In Nairobi, at our DCP office, there is a desk for diaspora, and a few people who have come to Kenya, they have always found and had a discussion with me. I don't want, when you come to Nairobi, you come to the countryside, then you are lost, you cannot find anybody. So we have created a mechanism and an office so that where you come on appointment, you'll be having people you can come and meet and engage. You know, people who have been betrayed, they take time to trust. I'm in the same boat. I've been betrayed too, so that makes the two of us. So all I can do is just ask you to trust me. I can't do anything beyond there because I don't know how to convince you that I'm different. The only thing I know is that I've demonstrated that I'm an honest person. I can sacrifice personal comfort for the common good. I also want to succeed. We don't just want William Ruto to go home. We also want our country to be a good country. We want to succeed. And we have agreed here that the diaspora people are a very serious partner for you to succeed. So I will be foolish. I will be short-sighted. I will be unstrategic not to engage because we are looking for partners. How would we develop our country alone? Our public debt now is almost going to 12 trillion. Unless we have serious injection of capital through foreign direct investment, we will not get anywhere. So these people to come and invest in Kenya will come from where? I am sufficiently aware that I must work with you to be able to get people to come and set up those factories, to come and assist us in agribusiness, to come and transform arid and semi-arid lands. I don't just want to run office. I want to run for office, get elected and succeed. And I don't think you can just get into office and just sit pretty. You must get into office and do the right thing for you to succeed. And one of the things we have identified, and that is why I'm here for 5 weeks and I'll be back again next year, is that you are a strategic partner that I need to engage. If you can trust that, tuendelee. If you can't, doubting Thomases are part of our lives. Sindio? And there's nothing you can do because people are people, you know. Tobias and Sanballat, part of our history. They are those who believe what they see, and it is right because people have been betrayed. When I said I'm coming to the US, many people doubted. They said, "You the story of Jamba, story of town. I'm here." So pole tutaenda tukizoeana, and we build trust slowly, isn't it? Trust will build it slowly, And with time, you'll come to understand me, I'll come to understand you. I think we'll be good partners. Reverend Dorcas, come and say jambo.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and the good people for the time that we have spent, and I'm sure the engagement has been fruitful. I do not want to keep you because he has spoken what needs to be spoken. You have also expressed yourselves, and I believe he has heard. Good leadership is where you have an ear that listens to the people, and you also sit down and work out a strategy and a plan that will be able to change the lives of people. As a pastor, I know that very well. And I know that when you are leading people, you need to hear. Even God himself says, come and let us reason together. Any person who does not listen, they don't reason together, they don't listen to the people, they don't work together, ends up failing. To our children and to our Gen Zs, I am very sure there is one thing I always tell you. You must stay alive. If you are going to see the future, and you are the future, you are the one we are looking forward to seeing. Have families, have children, give names to us. And we want to see you succeed. You must moderate the way you do your things and stay alive. Because when you are dead, how can you succeed? How can you bring revolution? How can you bring a change? But that is not to tell you to be fearful. Don't be fearful. Even God himself tells us, fear not. Fear not. As long as you are in the right path, you are speaking what you believe and you are convinced is the right and legal thing to do, please continue doing the right thing. We are right behind you. As a mother, as a priest, I'm behind you. And I always say the truth must be told. People must be accountable, people must be transparent. And many a times when I stand like here, if you go to the social media, they will tell you, stay in the pulpit. Do not, you are a Christian, do not say this. Christians are not foolish people. We are visionary people. We live in this world. We don't stay in heaven and then come in the morning. We travel on those roads that are bad. We are preaching to the people who are hurting. We are burying the children who are being killed. And therefore we have a voice and we have to speak. We have to stand firm. We have to tell those who need to be told that life and sanctity of life must be preserved. The rights of people must be preserved. And at the same time, I am His Excellency's spouse, and I don't apologize about that. And there is nothing wrong in being married to His Excellency. There is no crime there.
That's it.
The next thing, the fact that I'm married to him does not make me a person without a brain. I've gone to school. I went to the university. I have a degree. I'm a professional banker. I am a mother, and God has given me the joy of also serving the people. And therefore, when you see me standing and speaking, it's because I have a good husband who supports my vision and believes in me. I also believe in him. Let me tell you, if you are a man or a woman and your family can stand behind you and speak good things about you, then you are good. It is very hard to find children supporting and saying their father is good, or a wife saying the husband is good, or the husband saying their wife is good, unless maybe they are lying.
Yeah.
But when it is true, and this one is true, you can see many people are out there speaking about this relationship. Yeah. Family values are very important in a community. Marriages worked, and the children were brought up in good families with morality, then you are going to have a good nation. And you cannot tell me that separating and divorcing families is the order of the day. This, I think, from where I stand, is the wrong thing to say. And therefore, as I stand here today, I really want to thank all of you for putting some hard questions on this man. And I also thank you, Your Excellency, for answering being honest. Yeah. Speaking the truth is one of the basic human rights. Speak it. Even us, we know Jesus says, I am the truth, the way and the life. If you cannot speak the truth, then you don't know yourself. Speak it and you will suffer for it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the truth will set you free. And if you allow me, because I'm a pastor, can I pray with you?
Yes.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this wonderful evening that you have given to us. We declare this was the day that you made,